What's up, nerds? Plugged In is back for our season premiere and better than ever. I'm your host, Ant, along with Daniel and X, and today we're going to be talking about the Minecraft live-action movie, Palworld, the Sony State of Play, and so much more. So let's roll that intro. So how about we start off the conversation today with the My Hero Academia movie. I think it's called You're Next.
Yep.
That's all you. Take it away.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm taking this. So, I recently saw the trailer. It looks like it's been sparked off from season 3 of My Hero Academia, from All Might's last stand. The reason why the movie is called You're Next is because of his famous quote from when he finished that fight and officially retired from being the #1 hero. Now it's your turn, or you're next.
Right. I believe the story is all about somebody who saw that in the crowd and believed that it was them that they were talking about, saying, "Oh, it's me."
It's
yeah.
possible.
And I believe that's going to be causing some kind of problems around the city. So, do you guys have any ideas on what the plot could be?
Well, from what the trailer looks like, it looks like it's either taking place after this recent season, from what look of Deku's costume being his new, how do I describe it? His
Vigilante?
his vigilante costume. Thank you. And it starts from season 3, and from what it seems like the plot is, towards the end of the trailer, you see the villain taking off his mask, and you have All Might's little tufts of hair pop up. I personally don't think the villain is All Might, because the way it looks like he would have to be in his muscle form in order for that to work. And where the story is now, every time he goes into his muscle form, he immediately reverts back and starts hacking up bodily fluids like an R-rated Pyukamuku.
Truthfully, I've never seen this show. Did not really know anything about it. Watched the trailer. It looks pretty cool. Animation is always like a top-tier medium above live action for me, because there's just no limit to what you can do. Like with live action, there's only so many stunts that Tom Cruise can pull off. Animate him and he can do literally whatever. So animation, I feel like, is always the way to go. But I watched the trailer, it looks interesting to say the least. You know, I don't really know anything about it, but from what you're describing, it seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I love animation, and I think it's just a great medium. The animation looks clean, and, well, I think that it's just going to be a really interesting time altogether.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next topic, shall we? And this one is a doozy. Palworld.
All right.
The newest game that is sparking lots of controversy, but also lots of buzz. How do you guys feel about the game as a whole?
I watched a gameplay review by IGN yesterday, and it looked like fun. It looked like a Pokemon mixed with Rust, like a survival, like, collect 'em all kind of thing, and it seemed really interesting. The co-op seemed good. It seemed like it could get a little boring, though. I'm not, like, hugely versed in it. I haven't played it or anything like that, but it seemed like it could be something, like, interesting just to pick up with friends, do something like that.
That's understandable.
Like, I know you're talking about how it's sort of like Rust. I've seen people going around saying it's like Pokemon mixed with the game Ark. Does anybody remember Ark?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so as a massive Pokemon, I'm just going to bring us into this topic, how a lot of the pals seem like they're rip-offs.
Exact
actual
rip-offs.
Pokemon.
Not only, there's the same thing.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
one pal that is literally just a Luxray, if you know what that is. A Luxray with different colors.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
that's actually a good segue. How do you guys feel about the relationship between Palworld versus Pokemon?
Okay, I actually recently watched a video on this. There's a YouTuber I watched. He did a tier list on how some pals look compared to Pokemon, which ones are more original. It actually turns out that there are still a lot of pals that are basically ripped from Pokemon, but there's not as many people think. Like, a lot of them, like, I'd even go as far as say some of the majority are either original, mostly original, or simply just inspired by the same things that Pokemon are inspired by.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of them look similar and stuff like that, but I think there's give and take with anything, especially like a game where you have to collect animals, and like Pokemon is like obviously a huge inspiration for anything related to that, but I feel like a lot of it's too much of a ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like having things like animals that look exactly like Pikachu in your game, what are we doing?
Right.
Like, there has to be some creative, like, licensing that Pokemon can, like, sue them over or something like that, because a lot of it's just exactly from, like, the games, TV shows, stuff like that. It's everywhere, and it's kind of, like, embarrassing for the company, because you're like, can you guys really not think of anything original? Like, all of these animals and creatures have already been created.
Yeah.
Just make something yourself.
Right.
Yeah, like it's something I've seen brought up a lot. Like you're creating a fire type Oracle Pokemon, and you could have picked pretty much anything you wanted to make that happen. You chose a fox and basically made another Delphox Pokemon.
I just want to say, the fox, is that the one where you can pick up and it's like a flamethrower?
I'm thinking about Wixen.
Possibly.
I think that's what it's called, Wixen.
Because that thing looked awesome, and I do want to play it for that.
Actually, speaking on that, to play devil's advocate for a bit, I actually don't really mind the similarities because Pokemon is tried and true. We all know Pokemon. We all know that the designs are like welcome. They're loved by the community.
Yeah.
So even though they are very similar, there are some very distinct differences. Mainly that you can like pick them up and you have different kinds of battles with them in Palworld versus Pokemon.
Yeah, like
And you can even catch humans in that game.
yeah.
Which, that's a thing, I guess. Yeah.
Like as a Pokemon fan myself, even knowing everything you've said about how there probably should be some copyright strikes going on with some of the PALs, I'm actually okay with Palworld as a game. I've been thinking about trying it myself. It seems like a lot of fun. Like my favorite PAL so far is this one called Tansy, which is this little grass monkey that looks like he would commit crimes with me, and that's always fun.
To wrap this up real quick, do you guys have any closing thoughts? Do you have any closing thoughts about the game as a whole or where you think it's going to be going?
I think there can be a lot of improvements made, but it's like early on still, so updates are bound to come, new designs, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
they're
I have
making
no
updates.
worries.
Hot take for that game? I think they should keep like all the glitches and bugs in because it's just way too funny to go down a cliff and then just, oh, now you're T-posing in the sky. Oh, now you can have a fight while T-posing in the sky. You know, I personally think that is flavorful and they should keep that in the game. Now, speaking of keeping that in the game, we are going to move on to our next topic, that being the Sony State of Play. Now, there were a lot of games that were released or announced during the Sony State of Play. So I was wondering, how do you guys feel about some of these games, and do you have any favorites so far?
Well, there's one that's caught my attention so far. That would be Sonic Shadow Generations.
Yes, that looked awesome. That looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I will say also, I don't know how true this is, but speaking of Sonic, since we're on the subject, Hayden Christensen has been rumored to voice Shadow in the third Sonic movie.
Really?
Oh.
And if that's true, I'm there
That's gonna-
opening night. Like
That'll be fun.
I'm finding a way to the premiere. But the one game that really just caught my eye, I was like, this seems like ridiculous and like stupid amounts of fun, was Dave the Diver, I think is what it's called. But with Godzilla.
Godzilla?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly.
No, back up, what?
Yeah, Dave the Diver. I'd never heard of this game until like 20 minutes ago where I'm watching the trailer and I'm like, what is this? Apparently Godzilla's in it. And then Godzilla does pop out of the water. And I think anyone loves Godzilla. You know, everyone loves Godzilla because
Yeah.
if you don't, you need to get checked out for that.
Right.
But anything with like a video game with Godzilla, I don't know if you can play Godzilla as Godzilla. I've never even heard of Dave the Diver, like I said.
Dave the Diver, get on that. You can now play as Godzilla. You can only go ankle deep in the ocean. That's just how it is now.
I don't know how it works, but it looked like a ridiculous amount of fun just because you're Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Me personally, I really enjoyed that they're releasing a new Silent Hill game. I don't remember the exact name of it, but honestly, anything from the Silent Hill franchise is super welcome. As a big fan of the like horror game genre, or like the storytelling horror game genre, I think that it's super welcome. I think that it's really exciting. There was also
I actually got a question for you about horror games. Like when I watch horror movies, I like get jump scared. Does that happen with the games too, where you're just playing, you're like, you know what's coming pretty much, and then you get jump scared while you're just like holding your controller, and you like jump out of your chair? What happens with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I've had times where like it's midnight, I'm playing like into the like some kind of Into the Woods game. I'm leaning forward on my PC, and oh, there's a ghost. Okay, guess I'll just go to the other room. Go to the other room. That's what we're going with. Yep, that's the word.
Yep.
That's the word I'm using.
There's a reason I don't play horror games and rather watch other people play them myself.
Yeah.
Because if I get jump scared while playing a horror game, I will make some unearthly sound. I will jump out of my chair. I will not go to sleep that night.
Remember, kids, it's always funniest if it happens to somebody else.
Correct.
Let's see them leave that in the video. Now, so moving on. Speaking
Just
of,
breaking the fourth wall.
well, the fourth wall ain't nothing on me because
There's no such thing as a fourth wall on this show.
you know what?
There
You know
should be,
what?
probably.
Hey guys, like and subscribe.
Don't forget to leave a comment.
Whether you're watching this on the YouTube shorts that they're definitely going to be making about this, or on the actual video, or even on the Twitch stream that we don't have. Like and subscribe.
Tell all your friends.
Twitch Prime.
Anyways, Minecraft.
Anyways, really quickly going back to Sonic Generations, or Sonic and Shadow Generations, do you guys think that it's going to be closer to the original Sonic Generations game? Or do you think that it's going to have elements of the Shadow the Hedgehog game?
I'm willing to say both as someone who has played neither game before.
Yeah, I've also never played any Sonic games, so that one's up to you, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's surprising.
Yeah. Oh, I just gotta.
We gotta get you on a
lot of
Sonic
bad
game.
looks there.
It's almost like not seeing like any of the Spider-Man
No,
movies.
that
That's
is
just
not
crazy.
the same.
Yeah,
That
like
is
imagine.
not the
I feel
same.
like that's pretty similar. But as somebody who had Shadow the Hedgehog 2 for the PS2 growing up, I'm very interested to see if they're going to be taking more of like a 3D direction with it, like a 3D platformer, because that's pretty hip right now. I'm very excited to see what direction they go with it.
Yeah.
But speaking of directions,
Oh, here we go.
Minecraft.
That's a segue.
That sure
It's
is.
not related at all.
Speaking of segues, Minecarts, Minecraft, the live action movie
Just roll with
with
it.
Jason Momoa, Jack Black, and Jennifer Coolidge. Because, yeah, that's.
And the roommate from Wednesday. I
And
did
the
learn about
roommate
that.
from Wednesday.
Yeah, he's like the main character in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is
Anyways,
going to be a fun movie.
Stacked
That's a
cast.
fact. Don't fact check us. You will probably
It's
find
on
out
IMDb.
something.
It's on IMDb. You can fact check
Yeah.
us on that.
Fact check it. Except don't click away from this video. Like and subscribe. How do you guys feel about the possible plot of the live action movie and that they're making a live action movie in general?
I have some thoughts about it being live action. I am hoping the entire thing isn't live action. Because if Minecraft is in live action, and this is just my personal opinion, that means the spiders are live action. I don't like spiders.
That's a good point.
I don't
didn't
like
think about
spiders that are half my height.
Maybe they'll just use what they do in Lethal Company and they'll have the arachnophobia version where instead of like putting spiders all around, it's just like the word spider
spider.
like flying around.
Honestly, I'd be cool with that. I just don't want to see spiders half my height in my Minecraft movie.
Now, one big question. Do you think that they are going to keep the blocky aesthetic for it, or do you think that they're going to have it be more human proportions?
I think since it's live action, it would be really, really funny if they kept everything blocked, but just have Jason Momoa walking around a ton of blocks.
I think
that would be so funny,
I think
but I
that could-
don't think so.
counterpoint, I think it'd be really funny if every single thing was a block except for Jason Momoa.
That's
because
what I'm
he's
saying,
already
yeah.
blocky. Like he is muscly. So I think that
And then
he's
Jack
already
Black
already
cancels him out 'cause
cube-shaped
he's round.
enough. Don't look that up. He's already cube-shaped enough, but I think that I think that it'd be just hysterical to see everyone be like the Kanye Roblox video. And what was that?
We
Kanye?
love it, you know?
I think that was Kanye. I don't know.
I don't do that.
How do you guys feel about the Despicable Me 4 trailer?
Love it. Everything about it, Despicable Me rules. Gru has a family, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like, I want to see like his. I feel like it's gonna be like a Jack from The Incredibles kind of scenario.
Yeah.
And I really just want to see how it all works out, because like all the Despicable Me movies are a ton of fun. So are the Minions movies, and I just want more.
So are you saying that the baby is going to turn into like a minion? Is that how minions are made? It's just Gru?
I thought we already touched on how Minions were made in the very first Minions movie.
I mean, they were, but I mean, we're gonna ignore that. So,
What are Minions actually called as a species?
but do you guys
think
do you
they're
guys
just
have any
minions.
ideas on what the plot could be really quickly?
It seemed like a heist movie from the trailer. So they're heisting something, they're stealing something.
Yeah.
They have to get a crew together.
Yeah, they're
That's
heisting something.
And then there's a twist at the end.
They're heisting
There is-
something. There's a new villain.
It's always
there's
a
some-
twist.
There's some guaranteed baby shenanigans. Who knows? The baby might get kidnapped.
Okay.
Baby napped even.
Yeah,
Quite
well,
possibly.
you know, here's hoping that they don't, because I believe it's a PG movie. Speaking of PG movies, we're going to move on to the upcoming movies portion,
That was
where
your
we're
most
going to be
profound
talking about
segment.
all kinds of upcoming movies. And right now, we got Argyle, which is coming out on February 2nd. We have Madam Web, which is coming out on February 14th. We have Dune Part 2, which is coming out on March 1st.
More sand.
We have Love Lies Bleeding, which is coming out on March 8th. I almost said Mart. And lastly, Kung Fu Panda 4,
Yes.
coming out on March 8th as well.
Sweet.
So, any standouts, any like really big movies that you guys are personally ecstatic to see?
Not exactly ecstatic, but I want to see Madam Web. Because I want to see where that goes.
I want to see how bad it is. It's gonna end up like a Morbius thing where it just gets memed.
Oh, it will
endlessly.
absolutely get memed.
It's Madam Time.
Dune looks cool.
Yeah, I think
That looks awesome. A part 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the first one. I can't wait for the second one. Got the tickets for the IMAX early screening of it, so I'm probably gonna see it again.
I've actually
twice.
never seen Dune before.
Neither have I.
It's on Netflix.
I've heard that it's
until
a very
the 29th. Go watch it.
Everyone
Okay.
in my family has seen Dune except for me, and they
And
just
read
said
the
there was a
books.
lot
the
of
books
sand.
are good too.
I'm also very excited about Kung Fu Panda 4 because Tai Lung is coming back, and
Nice.
well, I think it's just going to be a very interesting upcoming like month for movies. So
Yeah, it'll be
that's very
fun.
exciting.
It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Absolutely.
Well, that is all the time that we have for this beautiful season premiere. My name is Ant, and we have Daniel and X on the couch. And tune in next week for another riveting discussion in the world of pop culture. Good night, everybody.